again. It's Dr. Maria Sakojemo. Oh, wow. We just completed a phenomenal webinar. It was amazing. It was great. Dr. Michelle Bose, she did a fantastic job. You know, we were talking about financial plan, financial projections. It was amazing. If you did miss it, hold on. You'll be able to watch it again. But before I let you watch, I just want to say something. You know, I came across a lot of people telling me, I have this brilliant idea, but I just need money to implement it. I need money to start my business. I need money to start my ministry. I need money. I need money. I need money. I want you to think again. You don't need money. You want to have money. But I know at some point in business, you are going to need money. But just for you to implement your idea, probably not. And if you definitely need money to start, then let's put it this way. You can start with a short-run business to prepare the long-run business. Because if the long-run business requires money, then you need to start generating money coming from somewhere, which can be a short project to prepare the money you need for the long-run business. And you know, as a Christian, I was kind of reading my Bible last night to prepare the webinar for today. And it came to my mind to read the book of Genesis. I'm going to read this to you. The Bible says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. Looking into this, I see that when God wanted to create the universe, He did not go to the bank to get a loan. He did not apply for a loan anywhere. Not that there was a bank at that point. But it just shows me that God did not start the universe with money. He started the universe with 3 resources. There was the earth, there was darkness, and there was water. And we will see that through the process of creation, He did use these 3 resources, these 3 elements. But before He used the resources, what happened? He had to speak. And we know that the word spoken was Jesus Christ. First, we read that the Spirit of God was hovering over the water. And now God the Father had to speak. That means He had to bring forth the third partner. So we had the Spirit, God the Father, and God the Son. And Jesus was the power that was bringing to life what the Father was thinking. So He had to speak to call on the light to shine. And God was speaking to bring everything to life. And the word that was coming out of Him was the power that was coming within Him. How much power do you have within you? And I like the part where the Bible says, before God created the man, He said, let us create the man to our own liking. He spoke to the Trinity, to the Holy Spirit, to Jesus, God the Son, and Himself. God had an idea, and He brought that to life. How many ideas that you have that you're sitting on? Oh, I have this brilliant idea, but I just don't have money to put it to motion. God had an idea to create you and me. He had an idea to create the universe. He did not utilize any money. He did utilize the resources around Him and the power within Him. And the Bible says he created you at his own image. So if him, who is the God, could create the universe without any money, oh, let me tell you, you can start that business without money. You can start that ministry without money. You can start that project without money. You can tell me, hold on, Dr. Marie, my project definitely needs money. I hear you. If you definitely need money, then let's start with a short project. We can put that project as a long-term project and then start with the short-term project. What do you have in your hands? Do you have something in your hand that you can start with? God asked Moses, what do you have in your hand? Yes, I'm going to send you to deliver people of Israel from Egypt, but what do you have in your hand? God is asking you the same question today. What do you have in your hand? Don't look into what you don't have. I like the example that Dr. Michelle gave. She said, you know, from your own kitchen, you can bake cookies. From your own kitchen, you can make sandwiches. Let people try those sandwiches. If they like it, then they will start ordering. When you collect 1, 2, 3 orders, the business just starts. You may tell me, okay, I do not have anything in my kitchen. All right. You know, some of us, we've been on earth for quite some time, a couple of decades now. Do you still wear all the clothes you have in your closet? Do you still use all the handbags you have? Our children are growing. How many toys do you still have in your home? This is something that you can sell and you can start generating money. Maybe you have a skill. If you do braid hair, how much does it take for you to braid somebody's hair? All it takes is just for you to tell somebody, I braid hair. They can bring their own hair. All you do is just sit down and braid. We just need to be creative. And when we are creative, we put in the first work, the first step, we start that business, then we start generating income. If your project is a long-term project, you need a lot of money, you need a lot of thousands, millions of dollars to start that project, start with a short-run project. Go braid hair. Go be a speaker. You speak well. God has taken you through life where there's a lot of things that happen in your life that can help somebody else as a testimony. You can go out, be a life coach, help somebody. So there's a lot that we can do without money. And when we start generating that money, now we can start planning and we can start projecting, forecasting, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to let you listen to the fabulous lady, Dr. Michelle Bose, and tune in to hear what she had to say on planning, on financial planning and financial projections.
Okay. Budgeting is the foundation. It's foundation in business and your personal finances. What is the budgeting? Budgeting from a personal aspect is taking your income that you generate in your household, all the income. And that's what you use on a monthly basis. All your expenses come out of it. It is the ability to see with your own eyes, on paper, on a computer, Excel spreadsheet, the money that's coming in, and then the staples, your structure, your utilities, your cell phone service, to see the kind of money you're spending for the necessities. And then the rest, your groceries, automobile, gasoline, the repairs. Yeah. Budgeting in business is the same design. Do understand It's a lot bigger, a lot bigger. And budgeting you do on a monthly basis. You set up your budgeting. And how do you ever set up budgeting? How do you figure out what the monthly income should be in a business? Since it fluctuates every day, your income, the revenues you bring in from your business fluctuates every day. You have good days. You have, oh my goodness, that's not enough. But you have an asset that you didn't have at the turn of this century. It's called internet. It's called the ability to reach internationally, to present your company, product, service, product and service. This gives you the good and the best opportunity to reach everybody on the web. And it's the resources that Dr. Marie's been talking about. Dr. Marie is one of the resources. Covers marketing, covers business. Yes, definitely. It's a resource. And you need marketing on internet, and you need the expertise of the people. You put it in your budgeting. You put it under marketing, it's an expense. You put it under advertising, it's an expense. You work closely with them, and it goes across all of your social media. You get to pick and choose what social media you want to market on. It is highly valuable, and it's in your budget. It is one of the number one critical ones in business, in budget. You have a website, you want to build a website. Dr. Marie is one of the people of resources that can get it done. And I'm honest with you, it's excellent work. It's unbelievable. It's straightforward. And I'm in service, and it happens to be accounting, which is a field that is going extinct because of AI. And yet you still need the humans to do it. It's not easy to market. Seriously, it's not easy to market. It's one of the hardest. It's harder than attorneys and medical doctors, medical clinics, medical, down the medical line, studies. I mean, it's harder than any of those. And yet they are services, and they are discovery when it comes to science. Yeah, they do advertise on the web, but it's the marketing, and accounting's a tough one. Most people aren't in accounting, but you need bookkeeping. And this is where it starts. It starts with your budgeting. It's how to put a budget together. And it's to take, the nice part about it is you first start up your first month. Yeah. If you've got a website, you're selling product, you're selling service, you will have money. It will come in that first month. But if you're like stuck in service like I am, and specifically my field, not so. So you invest your personal money. How do you get your personal money to invest? Start selling items out of your own personal inventory. Purses, shoes, clothing. Put it on the web. Get into the websites that can sell your product. This is how you're going to generate income to go into your business. Excuse me. This is a method I have used over 4 decades. I've done it all on poverty. I know how hard it is to have an extra few bucks to go into business. Oh yeah, I sold my clothing. I sold items that were barely used. I sold them to secondhand shops. We didn't have internet, so it's called resources. It was go into a secondhand shop. It's to inquire about selling in their secondhand shop. Now we have the internet to do that for us. And this is what you do in budgeting. It's creating the money to begin with. How do you take your own personal resources and put them out there and sell them? Selling tools on the mail side, selling a variety of mail items, that men love to use. Their tools. Oh, yes, their tools. Automobile mechanics, repair, their tools. The women, it's selling your purses, ones that you no longer use on a regular basis. This is how I generated income. It's one of the ways to do it. By the way, it's not taxable. The money you put into the business is not taxable when it's your personal money. It's called a capital investment. So you are not taxed on it. You're not taxed on it internationally, and you're not taxed on it in the United States. It is a personal investment, and you will see the return on that personal investment in your business. And one of the major factors, since we have technology, and when we didn't have the technology, it is the marketing. And you do connect with the people and expertise in it. Dr. Marie has a lineup of professionals in her group, her umbrella that she works with. Their work is exceptional. It's amazing. Their design, their content writing, all of it. It is a major resource. It's one of the few that I have found that have this quality. You are going for quality. When it comes to your marketing, you're going for quality. Half the time, quality costs you money, not necessarily. So as you get into it, budgeting's your core. What is financial planning? Financial planning is connected to the personal side. And all the financial planning from the personal side is what we're doing now, what we're going to do halfway, and what we're going to do later on towards our retirement years. That's what financial planning is. And you do get in contact with a financial advisor to do financial planning on the personal side. That involves words like estates, trusts. Internationally, there are other names. It's just that it's from a personal side of looking at projection. It is called forecasting when you do it in business. It is, yes, this is where the company is right now. Where do we want to be in 6 months? How much revenue increase are we looking for? Is it 25%? Is it 40%? What comes with that increase? Is it something on our website that has to be adjusted? Do we have to look at our marketing platform on Instagram, TikTok, looking at on Facebook, the various social medias, reaching the people? Yes, that's what you're doing. Bringing them to your e-commerce, your Spotify, your product, and then your websites for service. It's called forecasting. This is what we want to do. This is what we have. This is what we want to do on increase. This is where you collaborate. This is where you sit down and you start having those conversations and you put it in play. The budget is your key. You're going to actually compare it. If you're doing a 6-month and you want to see an increase of 25%, you're going to take 6 months of your money that you have brought in, and you're going to take 25% of it, and you're going to increase every month. You're going to increase X amount of dollars every month in your budget income, the budget revenue. And then you're going to put it against the actual. And you're going to see this month, boy, we were up to 30%. The next month, oh, we dropped 3%. We're still going where we want to go. Forecasting is about where you want to be in a year. This is not in concrete. This is not, we put it down and this is what it is. No, it adjusts forward as we adjust our budget. Budgets are adjustable. Trying to hold on to a budget that says you're making, $25,000 a month, and your business is going from $5,000 1 month, it moves up to $11,000. Then it drops back another month, back down to 9,000. Yes, business fluctuates. That's the difference about the personal side. We're on a fixed income when you work for somebody. So we know every month what our money's going to be. Unless you pick up a part-time job or you stop with your part-time job, different factors come in, and those different factors in your personal life also are done in the business. Clients that are doing extremely well, but then come into a dry spot. Okay, this wasn't foreseen. This was not foreseen. There was no hint. There was no industry notification that this is beginning to happen. So you can literally prepare for it. Oh no, there's some that just show up and you have to adjust to it. That means laying off employees. It also means increase, adding employees. Some of your businesses, they are unique now in this century. If you are, I know of one company that is a startup company. They've been in business just 4 years. They do programming for the freight industry. That means pretty much not just national in the United States, but they do international. In just 4 years, they went to the income of $500 million in 4 years. They employ 300 employees. About 90% of them are programmers. So take a look at what technology is creating for us, an ability to make more money. That is why we're doing it. It's called profit. It's called making better money than we would make if we worked for someone. So the budgeting is your core. It's important, deeply important. All your expenditures, you have surprises in businesses every month. You can't get past it. If you do most of your work on your business is on internet, yes, you think you're safe. Wait until your provider shuts down for updates and tells nobody. And your website, everybody goes into your website, but it won't go any further than the first click. You don't have any knowledge of it. Technology is no different than the physical being. Your automobiles in your business, oops, it doesn't start. This one has a flat tire. Unexpected when you walk into the business. It is the same way with technology. Make sure you back yourself up with another laptop computer, just in case your computer, well, has to go see the doctor. It's how you do, it's called a workflow in business. It's how to keep your business going forward, despite the minor hiccups that are coming into play. When you build, you will build your business. A lot of times your business will build fast, especially on the internet, especially with products, especially product and service. It can start going. And everything that you do as a sole proprietor or a sole entrepreneur is also the new terminology they're using. Yes, you have software. You have software you use in your business. There are times where, you need to have a look at software. It's why having 2 laptops helps you out deeply. You start out with one. Borrow a laptop if you have to. I've done it. Starting a business, this new technology, I borrowed a computer. I borrowed a tower. I borrowed the screen. We started out very arcade. Yes. And what did it do? It took the business forward, and it went forward fast in accounting. The networking was still working in my field, face to face, call on the telephone, recommendation. people calling in, people showing up at a physical office. Well, now our physical office is welcome to the cell phone, text message. You have everything at your fingertips that's going to make this process easier. And that's why the budgeting is so important. One of the factors to look into when it comes to cell phone is cell phone services. So you're paying this much money on a cell phone and you're going, but I don't have that kind of money. Check out and research all of your cell phone services. Don't just go with AT&T, go with Verizon. They are two of the top because they started from the ground and they've been in business for about 100 years. So yes, they know the business they're in. So they lease, when it comes to cell phones, they lease their services, satellite services, the ground services, their towers, to all the other cellular services. So that's one of the resources you research. Budgeting helps you because it denotes to you how much you're paying at a gas station. Wow, that's when you start looking at prices. The one that's closer to your home, you'll find out be more expensive than the one that's half a mile out. Would you rather pay less on your gasoline or pay more? You fill up half a mile out from your home because it's cheaper. This is what budgeting does. You put down the number. How do you get these numbers? Add up 1 month of all your gasoline that you paid for. Then literally divide it. It's 1 month. Divide it. Find out how much you're paying per week in 1 month. Then you're going to start looking at, ooh, ouch. You're going to start looking for gas stations that are a whole lot cheaper. 10 cents, 3 cents, 5 cents cheaper. It makes a difference. When you look at your budget, you can only afford this, but you paid this. You went over budget by 10%. Ooh, it's ouch. You need that money in your business. You need it in the marketing. You need it. Look at your bank charges. Go online, take a look at your online banks and see if they handle business checking accounts. Projection is forecasting, and it's about taking you from here and increasing your profit in a year. You do it by year, literally. You want to see the here and now, and you want to literally see if you can increase it by 20% in 6 months. You want to see if you can increase it by 25% at the end of the year. Do realize through international, there are not as many holiday seasons as there is in the United States. There is not that many, and they're very important holidays internationally. But the United States puts about one every month as a holiday. Your Valentine's Day, Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, 4th of July. These are celebrated. And yes, your income, if you're selling product and stuff, your income can go up, literally go up, really increase for you. Real simple. It's just budgeting. You start with something that is not consistent. And in a business, your revenues are not consistent. It's something that you have to wrap your head around. You'll look at your dailies, honest. You'll look at your dailies. If you're on a product website, e-commerce, Spotify, you'll want to go in and look at what your daily sales were. You want to see what is selling the most, what is not selling this month. Keep an eye on it and see if it's selling next month, because your actual is going to be placed up against your budget. It's nice to see an actual that your revenue is high and your expenditures are lower than your budget. That's what you really want to see, but it's a rare occasion you do. But you will find yourself adjusting your budget. Yep, gasoline's one of them. You do write it off. You do, even though you're on internet. Sometimes you physically have to go see customers that happen to be local. If you're running a restaurant, your food is not delivered on the screen. You physically have to have the food. You don't eat off your screen. But food is also designed that you can ship it to the customer. They do it in pastries. But you also finding yourself, I have students that have done this, want to get into the food service. They started doing baking in their kitchen, in their apartment. Then they took it down to a bakery and asked if they could sell it in a basket on the counter. They said, oh, sure. Okay. And she priced it. They called her because in an hour, the basket was completely empty. She sold everything. They need a refill. She's going, oh, oh my. She left the school and went home, put two baskets together and took it to the bakery. And from that bakery, the word spread, and she started to be in several bakeries, which would then create the revenue for her to literally go into a physical retail bakery setup. She did not know that would happen. She had no clue this would work, but she put herself out there and tried it. She took the baking ingredients in her kitchen and made it. Simply amazing. But this is how you do testing in food. This is one of the ways to test. Sandwich shops, way to test. Putting your product on their counter and seeing how it's even the marketing, what you put together yourself to see if it's eye appealing, to see if it's willing to take a risk to try it. Budgeting is very important because when you do startup, it comes out of your pocket. Just remember, you got items in your closet. You've got kitchen items that you can sell that you don't use anymore. The rice container that creates your rice for you in 10 minutes, you don't use it anymore. Sell it, generate the income. This will help you on budgeting. It's also personal monies goes in and it's not taxable. But your forecasting will also, in business, it can be adjusted. Maybe you adjusted it way too high. Maybe you adjusted it a little bit too high. Bring it down a little bit. Bring it down in the revenues a little bit so that you're having something that's more reality, because now you're in the thick of it. Now you're producing the money. Now you're producing the expenses. Now in the forecasting, oh my, that was way too high on revenue. What was I thinking? You're thinking wisely. This is what your expectation is. Can you meet that expectation? 6 months in, you're finding out, oh no, I'm not going to meet this expectation. So you will adjust the revenues of your forecasting, because the first 6 months will tell you what you're doing, how well it's working. It'll tell you about your marketing, the marketing reports. See, working with Dr. Marie in any way, yes, access to the marketing reports. How in the world on a day-to-day basis did your social media, how did it work on Facebook? How did it work on Instagram? Was it on TikTok? Oh my. Then take a look at your website. How many people did you get into your website? How did it do for the very first month of its existence? The reports are very important, and this is what she does, and this is how she does, and she does it extremely well. It's a rare find in so many respects. It is a unique design. I know quite a few programmers that do this in marketing because they're programmers. They do it from the bottom like you do in a business. They start with one line. And yes, they get into the marketing side because they know how to take it in this internet design and knows how to bring everything up to the surface and be more notable, more seen. But Dr. Marie is in business, which is, I found, a better match, more top level. Everything gets done within a time frame, but the quality of the work is just mind-bending. It's amazing. It's very amazing. The content is one of the toughest to do, and it's in your budgeting. Do remember one factor in budgeting when it comes to the marketing, do put a percentage of your money into that marketing, because that is what's going to take you to the people. And in return, the people are going to come to you and they're going to buy your services, buy your products. That's why budgeting is so important. The projection side of it is, where do you want to be in a year? Try not to do it on a 5-year, do it on a year. See what it is just a couple of months away. See what it is 6 months away. You want to do it within a year. It's more reasonable and it's more close to home as you literally do it on a day-to-day business in your business. Startups are, yeah, where do I come up with the money? By God, I have seen my own family that are 40 years older than me literally sell their lawnmower to go into the business. What are they doing? They decided to do lawnmower repair because they were laid off. They can't get work. They decided in that generation, 40 was too old to get another job. What did they do? You have to put food on the table. You have to keep the roof over the head, the heat on. Yes, they did. They went out and they started looking, going, okay, I'm selling this. I'm selling this. Yes, they made the money to market their business. It starts with your marketing, getting the word out. The lawn, those lawn sales, those signs that go up on your exits about an estate sale, a lawn sale. Do the same thing. You can do it on the web and not have to physically do it. You physically package it up, you physically send it out, you get paid. Hello. It's like a second income revenue, but it's going into your business for startup. It's one of the ways that you don't take your charge card and raise it up and bring more debt to it. It's take what you have and sell it. It will help you. Even internationally, it will help you big time. It'll make you feel really good because you bought quality when you bought, and now it's not used. So you're not using it, gifted to another home, and gifting it to another home, you get paid for it. It's kind of like babysitting. You're babysitting your brothers and sisters. Okay, do you get paid for it? Back in the day, you didn't get paid for it. Today, oh yeah, that service is a value. And where do your children learn about budgeting? Out of your own home. It started in my generation. You pay your children to do the task at home. Mow the lawn, do the house cleaning, do the wash, do the dishes. You get paid 50 cents a week. You paid $1 a week. It's how you train your children about budgeting. Oh, I want that new car at the grocery store, costs $5, and you make $1 a week. How many weeks is it going to take you before you can buy that car? Now, what's the value of that car? It is a toy. Well, you've got a wager here. You've got a decision to make in your childhood. Is that car worthy of reselling it, that toy car, reselling it and bringing back about 50% of what you spent on it? Or is it more valuable to take your money to another direction? A new program that you learn from in mathematics by doing games. There are certain factors now that ride differently. Internet, programs you actually learn from when you're a kid. You learn it through games, how the mathematics works, how you divide, how you multiply, how you add, how you subtract, and you do it all through a game. Visual learning and mental connection to the different factors on a screen. It's not just those numbers anymore. There's other ways to apply. It's working with your children on wise decisions. Is a toy that important, or is it the toy going to be there a year from now, and you still want that toy car? It's a way of learning about business because the decisions come with it. In business decisions, the decision whether or not to have a printer for your computer, of whether take it on flash drive and go and pay a few dollars, a few cents to have a certain factor printed out, where you don't need your printer 24/7 because you're not printing trees anymore. There's other technology designs. It's in your budget. That's what you use your budget for. Do I have money to handle office supplies? How much is my percentage of the money I bring in, your revenue? That's where you find the percentages. You take that dollar sign in office supplies and you divide the income into it, your revenues into it, and it'll tell you the percentage that you just spent out of your revenue. That's how you do budgeting. That's how your actuals are done. You can print the reports with the percentage, and your percentage, literally, you'll see what your high end money that you're spending. And then you start looking at it very closely, and you start looking at your budget, and you start saying, okay, I got to do adjusting. It's your biggest and most important. That's why I've done any of this. I'm saying is about the budget. It is writing the numbers down. This is what you expect on the revenue for the month in your business. And this is what you expect to spend. Of course, you didn't see that coming. Trust me, I've got 40 plus years of didn't see that coming. You would expect after so many decades that you would automatically expect this, and this is going to happen. No way. Ha, ha. Technology stepped in at the turn of this century, and now it's no, no, you can't take a flu day. No, 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 no. You're you're going over to an IT and they're going, okay, it's going to be a couple of days for you to get back. No, it can't be a couple of days. No, 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 no. Do you have a loaner? Do you have a loaner? I'm running a business. Don't you have a backup computer? I can't afford it. You have all of this unexpected will come about. But every time it's unexpected, you really are going to know what to do. You'll know where to go because of your resources. You will build resources. It's unique as can be. I have never met Dr. Marie in person. I'm in Colorado. I get to meet her on a screen. And now that we have action on a screen called videos, it's everything. It's not a faceless words on our cell phone and our computer. It's a real live person and all the other people, live people from all over the world. It's everything. Since all of us don't have the cloud to travel to all the locations. Oh, yes, it's there. That's what I'm going to do when I hit 50. Oh, that's what I'm going to do when I hit 60. Oh, yeah, we have our projections. We do our own forecasting of what we're going to do, and we change it as we go along, and then we change it back. It's very unique. But the financial planning side of anything is personal. And to wrap it up, forecasting is what is called in business. And literally, you adjust it, but it is where you want to be in a year, 12 months from now. And you'll see it every month. You'll see it every day. You'll see it every week. You'll see how you're working. You'll see how 1 week you will not do all that well, but the next week it just improves over 50%. Like, oh yeah, I'm on top of this. And then it just mellows out and has a medium on the third week. So you have fluctuations in your revenues. They are not consistent. So that's why your budget actually has a consistent number. Once you're in business for a year, you can take your actual revenues for the year and divide it by 12 and make that your budget revenue every month. And you start out with it. And lo and behold, on your second year, you're not going to believe it, but you're going to do better than your budget in revenue. So it is the first year, it's really a test year. But when you're stuck to those guns and you won't let them go, things are going to come out of that closet, go on the web, and you're going to generate revenue to put into your company as you build it with clientele. No matter what design a company, this is what you do. If you really think it's odd, H&R Block are two men that were living in a town and they had retail stores. There's a problem. They didn't know how to put together the numbers. They didn't know how much money they were making. They started out with $10 this morning and wow, we have $35 today. Well, how much money did we make? It doesn't connect many a time. So H&R Block are two brothers that their mother noticed this was happening in all of these stores in this small town. So she went to her sons that figured out how to keep books because they had a retail store. And she recommended to them, go to each one of these retail stores, offer the service, show them how to put it together. And when they make enough money, simply charge them X amount of dollars for what they can afford. That is how H&R Block started. It's how they started. They went to the people in the town. And yes, they were well known. And yes, their advice, how to do books, it's called bookkeeping. Yes, they had to figure out how much money was coming in and how much money was being spent, where you come up with budgeting and where you come up with the counterpart called the actual, what actually took place. H&R Block go that far back into the 1800s. This is how they started, because in those days, you had to be in business. Every family had to be in a business. It meant if you got paid, it was done paying you with a rooster. Next time you get paid, you better have a hen, because you can take the product of eggs and sell it. Yes, yes, yes. This is how businesses got started in the United States. Yes, it's all over the world, because all over the world, you don't have businesses you go work for. You are in business and you work for each other in businesses. And that's what came to the United States. The Indians have been doing it since day one. They do it in trades. This product for this. Yeah, it can get lean out there when it comes to food and fishing and dropping deer. Yes, it can become very lean, but you have to sustain your food, your shelter, clean water. This goes all the way back. It's not changed. It's just that we do it with different products. And then we put it out there and market it. You didn't find the Indians walking around with a sign posted to stop in, grab some cuisine. None of that existed. It was, you see some kind of buildings, you go for it. You're riding horses. They need to be tended to. Food, water, they graze. Yes, there's all kinds, but they also would like some healthy food on top of it. So they need their shoes looked at when it comes to horses. You got to maintenance and take care of livestock. They get you to where you need to go, or it's going to be the longest walk in your life. If you don't have the wagon and the horses to pull, this is where it begins. This is what we're doing now. We're now driving automobiles with engines in them, and you pump gasoline. If you don't maintenance the automobile, it won't go very far. So we are still doing what they did back in the 1800s with livestock. We're doing it. That's how we get around. Of course, now we can, Uber ourselves. Take an app. Take your finger. That's the app. Get yourself an Uber. We used to make a phone call to get a taxi. We used to go to pay phones and drop a dime in to get a taxi. No transportation. Take a look at your bus service. It is provided because there's ones that do not have individual transportation. So public busing became a part of our lives. And it's out there. And it's international as well. And this is just all that I have to say. Dr. Marie, take it back to you.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much. That's a lot of information. Thank you. So people, you can see that Dr. Michelle is a great woman, and she is one of our happiest customer ever. So she's our client. We work with her. I enjoy working with her. She has worth of information. I appreciate that. I appreciate a couple of points that you did put together. I'm gonna take that before I yield the floor to Ms. Cheryl. You said something interesting. You explained clearly the difference between the financial planning and the financial projection, and you differentiate the personal investment, which is capital investment, and then projection, which is the forecasting. I was very interested in the personal investment. And I like the example you gave. A woman who goes in the kitchen, just take things around her kitchen to make cookies and then go sell them, make a sandwich and go sell them. Sometimes we sit around waiting for the days we're going to have thousands of dollars, millions of dollars to start a business. Let's start with what we have. The resources are people around you. The resources, this webinar is a resource. You come here, you learn. You go in your kitchen. What do I have in my kitchen? I have baking flour. I have baking soda. I have, I don't know, sugar, salt. What can I do with this? I'll make something and go, not even sell it. At first, let people taste. Because if people taste, they like what they did taste, then they'll come back to you to buy. Don't start a business with every time you step out, it's to go sell. Let people taste what you have. So when people have something for free, they taste, they like it. Oh, I like this one. How did you make it? How can I get it? Okay, now you need to pay. It's $1. Try to work with people. That's how you start building wealth. I like the verse that I was reading in the Bible, Proverbs 13:11. Here it says, spend less than you earn. The Bible says, wealth gained hastily with dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. We want to be billionaires fast. We want to be millionaires fast, especially when we go on YouTube. They tell us, oh, you know, if you do this, you're going to be $1 million. You're going to be having thousands of dollars in a week. It's not true. If they had those millions of dollars, they wouldn't be coming to scam people. Most of them are scammers. I'm not saying all of them, but most of them, they'll tell you, follow my free webinar. And then after that, they say, before you get this information, you need to first pay 1, 2, 3. You can start gaining where you are, from the kitchen, from your home, from your closet. And when we started this program, I said, you can have a short business plan and then a long business plan. The short business plan will prepare you and will give you the resources you need for your long run business. So if, let's say, I want to start a business that requires ipso facto for me to put in money, I can look into what can I do today. I can sell my handbag that I don't use anymore. I can bake some cake home and then sell them in the neighborhood. I can braid hair. There are women who can braid beautiful hair, and they just braiding the sisters and brothers and daughters. You can braid hair and create a capital for yourself to start your business. So nowadays, I feel like we don't have any excuse to keep us from starting a business. Sister Cheryl said in the last webinar, jobs can pay the bills, but a business, it builds wealth. When you are in the business for yourself, you are building wealth. And you can leave a legacy with your business, not with your job. And another thing, working, it's not bad. We work, we pay bills, but let's keep in mind that that job can be taken away from you anytime. When I first was working, there were times where your job just end like this because the manager does not have that role anymore. The project ends, okay, they don't have work for you. Everybody has to go home. But when you are investing in your business, yes, you're gonna have up and down, but your budgeting, your planning, your forecasting, and the God we pray will keep you moving, will keep you going forward. So thank you so much, Dr. Michelle. That was great information. I yield the floor to Sister Cheryl.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Marie. Thank you so much, Dr. Boss. You know, the truth of the matter is this is a webinar about financial planning and projection. But for me, this was more like a life coaching. I mean, the things that, how she tied it all together, you know, had you thinking about your own life, looking into yourself, you know, as she was talking, I'm here, you know what? I got so many pocketbooks. I got so many handbags downstairs. I have so many stuff here that I haven't even touched in years. Very good condition, because you know you buy them and you probably wear them once or twice and you just have them here. And I mean, that's resources. That's our resources that can generate capital to start up a business. And I'm sitting on wealth, you know. So I just thank her so much for this message today. You know, it just resonate to me, and it just ignite my spirit to say, yes, I'm sitting on my wealth, and it's time to just be among the movers and the shakers of this world. Because she's going to type in the H&R Block story, how it started, and look at it, H&R Block still going strong today. So, you know, we definitely want to reposition ourselves to be among the movers and shakers and get ourselves up and running, and you know, start doing something, you know, because we don't have any excuses anymore. As Dr. Boss pointed out, sell what you have, sell the stuff that you're no longer using. And you know what, sometimes you got to deny yourself, even if you're using it and you really need this capital to start up your business, you know, sell it. A better one will come somewhere down the line. Amen. Because the God that we serve, he will provide better than what we had before. So we thank you so much, Dr. Boyce. I mean, these are some very insightful information that you gave us today. I have one question for you now. Now that you have me thinking in lines of selling off what I have, you know, there's so many sites out there to sell stuff. Is there one that you recommend? I know you started back in the days when you show up to the store yourself, but now with technology, there's so many websites where you can sell off your stuff. I don't know if there's one that you prefer or you would recommend.
Actually, I do not, because most of my entire life's been in poverty. So the quality of what I've had doesn't necessarily match the quality of today, because quite a bit of my stuff is antique.
Oh,
And there's
antique.
a market for it.
I
Yeah,
prefer antiques
antique.
myself.
Yeah. I've got a piece of jewelry out of Korea my father bought my mother when he was in war.
Mhm.
And it is real diamonds on that major necklace. Those are real stones. And it's a 1950s. Oh, yeah, it's worth some money. Thinking I want to cut that loose. My mother never got to wear it. They never were able to have any type of gala affair. These are the kind of things. Look at your jewelry. There
Mhm.
are websites that work in the high level, the more valued because of the length they've been around, the condition they're in. Coins, trust me, a collection of coins, pennies. Another thing that won't come to your mind, but I'm going to mention it, toys. Yes, if you've got children, you have nieces and nephews, they have, gone through the toys. This is, well, no interest anymore. Those are resellable, also donatable, but
Mhm.
they are resellable. And there are children that would just die to have them because it's hard to come by. Think about it. If you've been
Indeed.
around for the Cabbage Patch Kids, those dolls, they were custom made individually, not many, but they were in such a demand because they were so adorable. The Cabbage Patch Kids, they were in business, they made their wealth. And then the Cabbage Patch Kids suddenly were, not in demand. Well, certain businesses come, certain businesses go, but then they come back into business. It doesn't mean that you're dead. It means you're on a hiatus. Welcome to the entertainment business. Hiatus. But toys is another one to check into. Choose a website. You know the quality of the way I work it is the quality. I did not pay $100 for a clutch bag. Okay.
Mhm.
Uh, my jeans are not $120 jeans. Plus, I don't have a single Jordache jean. The name on the back pockets, that was a trend. They're considered value because is it being done anymore? Levi's has always had their name on the back pocket. You get a pair of Levi's, you keep those Levi's on my life. I have a pair overalls that have been in play from a railroad worker's friend of my father's since the early 1940s. I still have those overalls. They are,
Wow.
no, I won't part from them. Sometimes this is happening, don't know that it's going to be, whoa, the value 10 years later. Check out your toys. There's a market for them. It's just research. I don't have anyone. I know there's one website they keep doing commercials on because obviously they make money. When you're doing commercials, they obviously have the revenue to go to TV, the small screen. And it's high quality. It's very good quality. It's a step up from J.C. Penney's, okay? Step up from Sears. J.C. Penney's and Sears are for farmers. So all of the retail stores that have developed out of and in the clothing business have developed out of J.C. Penney. This is the quality line. This is the quality line of Levi's. These are the guidelines of what they did with the clothing, how to get better quality, how to price it more, go for a different audience. It's a
Mhm.
lesser audience at the higher you go, more of an audience the lower you go. Farmers' kids have to be clothes. That's why the clothes they buy are quality and they're passed down through 12 children. So are the shoes. So are the boats. You got coats, by the way. Don't forget your coats. Don't forget those sweaters. Don't forget checking into your, there's wool sweaters and there's cashmere sweaters. I still have my cashmere sweaters from the early 1980s. I'm still sitting on them. I'm going to get thin enough to wear them. Oh, yeah. It's time to cut loose. I've got boxes that I put away, and I've got to do the same thing you're thinking. I've got to find a website that will accommodate the quality. And these are in exceptional condition because I didn't run around in them 24/7. I used them. And by the way, I was living in LA. Of course, when in the world do you wear a sweater in Los Angeles? Okay. When in the world do you wear a coat in Los Angeles? In fact, when in the world do you ever wear a pair of shoes that cover your feet? You're always in what? Flip-flops. You actually go see your clients in flip-flops and a swimsuit. Seriously. I do board meetings, by the way. And if it's going to be with the tech personnel, and you're out and you're by an ocean, it's called board meeting. You take them to the beach, you rent the surfboards, you put the surfboards in the sand, and you have your meeting. You put it, everyone puts it out there in the middle or inside those surfboards. And then we go out and learn to surf. And guess what? You got a couple 2 and 3 hours to digest. Maybe that is a better idea. It's to take the intel and then get them into the motion of learning application and combining, learning something new. But I have seen them literally able to surf in 2 or 3 hours and get the hang of it. And then we come in and then it's, okay, this is what we are, this is what I've selected. What is everybody else? And then they bring it down from a large amount to small 2 or 3 or 4 items that they're going to look into on how they're going to expand revenue. Okay. You do this in business. So you start with yourself. It's nothing like taking dad out, nothing like taking mom out. Oh, stay-at-home moms. Ooh, they're full of revenue. Uh-huh. Major revenue. They're full of it. They're just ridden all over them. Because what have they done? They've had to go to the grocery store. They've had to go to the market. They've had to go, oh, pick up dry cleaning. Seriously, that's a lot of money. They've had to do everything at the home front that takes them out into the business world. Retail stores. Oh, the big JCPenney's, Kmart, the big box stores, the small retail stores. Where to buy the best toys? Go to a lawn sale. That's where you make your money back in the day. Now you do it on the web. That's the other side of the coin. And it's everything because you can package it, you can get out there, you can set it up that you get the money first, product second. Just like you do in business. You pay for it and then it's sent to you. Your makeup. Okay, this is where we learned about finding manufacturers to create your own makeup. I've been in that also. How to take baseline and how to develop into organic when organic didn't exist. Yes, I've been there. And this is physically doing it. Now you can do all of it on the web. You can check into it. You can check into manufacturers of who would like to work with you, what kind of price they're going to charge, the consultation, the scientists, having collaboration of what you want to do and how you want to improve the complexion when it does makeup instead of taking it away. Getting into making customized earrings, checking with manufacturers. They will work with small businesses. They will work with it. But yes, I've been involved in the makeup side. Yes, I had a colleague. She's an accountant. Decided she can't handle this kind of makeup anymore. There's got to be something that we can put on our face that doesn't take away our natural functioning. And we did it. Hooked up with the manufacturer and with the chemist. And consultations, writing it all down, and this is what I would like in it. Is this possible to put nutmeg in it? Is this possible? Yes, you can do anything. We did it physically because there was no other communication but a telephone, and it's a landline. You can't walk away from a landline. You'll not get the phone call. There was no answering machines. All of this tech would come up through the 80s, and then it would become literally in your face in the 90s with the internet being the main key, and taking consumer, small businesses, consumer, and putting it on a computer by accounting, bookkeeping programs. It would take it off the desk and put it on a screen. And then we would come up with this wonderful thing called a mouse. It used to be a little guy that ran across the floor. Now it's on your desk, on your table. That's the mouse. Ooh, all of these funny little things, the different terminologies. Just do the research. You will find the right website suite that will fit what you need. And you're the only one that knows the quality of product that you have. Even though you only paid $10 for it, doesn't mean the quality is low by any means. It means you got a bargain, and it's worthy to sell, to do a sale. Trust me. You don't know how many entertainers, they take one-time worn clothes, these ball gowns, these various gala, and they own it, and they will take it, and they'll go once a year through the closet. They will pull. Now understand, they don't resell theirs. They actually take it to organizations. They take it to girls' organizations that cannot afford your homecoming dress, cannot afford this. And they take them to these organizations to be given to these children, these students, given to businesswomen and businessmen. There are literally unbelievable suits, dress suits for women, pantsuits, dresses, all of it, the full ensemble, and it don't cost any money. These are organizations that help ones that don't have anything to sell to create money, to create a business. This is how they work with them to generate business. The professional dress, and it doesn't cost. There are others that go one level up, and they will charge a $350 suit for a man, a three-piece, and only sell it for $20. Boy, are you getting a bargain. The quality of that suit is high, and yet it's sitting in a secondhand shop and only for sale for $20. It is done. Those are nonprofits. They are generating funds for their programs. This is the other side of not-for-profit. So I work both sides. But I don't have a recommendation because I've yet to peel out a few boxes that I'm going to have to do to generate income, because accounting is very tough in bookkeeping to gain clients, because you have to go out and reach them. There's more employees than there is owners of businesses that need bookkeeping. So you have a small pool hill, you have a large pool of employees. It's reaching that small pool. I had to do research. I came up with doing something kind of odd. And when I did it odd, now the information is coming to me. And now I'm beginning to have resources check into about clients, people looking. Outside of QuickBooks Online, I'm working on certification so that I have go into a message board that produces over 1 million international and national business people, business companies looking for bookkeepers in QuickBooks Online. It's a major resource. Literally, they come to you. You put out your information and they get in touch with you. So there are different resources, but accounting is the toughest I have ever seen to do any marketing. And this for Dr. Marie is quite a test drive because it is a toughie. And now she's getting seasoned in tough play. She's getting seasoned. She's seeing those reports. It's like, my goodness, any other business, those reports are really up. She takes a look at mine and goes, what's going on? It's a tough marketing position. But for Dr. Marie, they've got it handled. And this is, when it comes to marketing, you have a few clients in marketing that's going to be hard to market. It's nice to have a little seasoning before you take on another client that has this stripe of, oh my goodness, we need a lot of help here. But it's how to narrow down a very broad funnel and bring it way down to where you pinpoint your resources and how to reach the clientele. She's really seasoned in this. She keeps hitting me with questions and I keep answering them. I'm working on it. It was not easy physically. It's not easy on the web. So I'm just in a profession that you're seeing straight up. It's hard to market. So Dr. Marie is into this. It's seasoning.
Okay, thank you so much. So we have our work cut out for us. We got to do our own research now to find out, the best channel to get our goods and services out, to sell off our possessions that that we would like to use as capital to start up our business. We thank you again, Dr. Bose, for that reflection on that question. Is there any other question in the room? I know we talked about budgeting and projecting. For me, I use Excel a lot. So I don't know if there's any other program that you recommend to use for budgeting and projection, but I'm an Exceller, if that's even a word.
Yeah, Excel. Yes, it's one of the best to make up your own without using and putting money into budgeting software, and financial planning. I ran across a lot. There's a lot of programs. If you work Excel, do your own, because those bottom tabs, you got a different page, and you can start with one and go, oh, and then go to a next tab and start on something else and get part of your template put together, go to the next one. It's all in one place in one file. That's the gift of Excel.
Wonderful.
So I highly recommend Excel. I use it. I have students that I have put, literally, they went into business, cannot afford software in bookkeeping, put them on Excel. Literally, did the full set of books on Excel, all those tabs on the bottom, everything they needed. And they're sitting there going, oh yeah, they're in an airplane, they've got their laptop, and they just put that stick in and they're working. They don't have to have internet. They just need a computer and just stick it in and bring up their Excel, and they can do all kinds of work. They do the home budgeting on it. They got into doing home budgeting. When they started doing the home budgeting, they started to go, oh my God, I got to get rid of this vehicle. Oh my God. See if you can sell it for 25 bucks. See if you can sell it for 10 bucks. Seriously? Okay. Let's come to reality. $1,000, $2,000. Nope, we'll stick with 100. I'm going, 100 bucks is better. Bills. It works. But this is what happened to my students. They got ignited about doing the research, and they started to do the turnover. There goes that vehicle, got 25 bucks for it, putting it in. Yeah, most of my students all went in business, and they didn't know first thing about starting a business. So if you can have adults that have been vets and been through what they went through, yes, I admire them deeply.
to be able to step back in to this country, can't get a job, nothing is meeting, the alcohol is up, the drugs are up, and see all of the drugs and the alcohol plummet and business rise out of it. It was amazing. And they are doing what you're doing.
Mm.
They be in my class, they get a direct information, and then they're out. And oh yeah, I had an entrepreneur class, and I had students out there physically at retail stores talking to the leasing agent on the lease. It's a perfect spot. They physically went out and took their imaginary and took it out into reality. And they found out the foot traffic, all that is required and need and will bring when you have an establishment in brick and mortar besides your website. They went through the paces, and they're in business today, and they're doing extremely well. And I'm sitting here still in poverty and deeply proud because for every individual, it's different. And whatever
Mhm.
it takes, you do. And they were willing to take the plunge, and they did it. Deeply proud of them. Yes, they make more money than I do. Yes, yes, yes. But they know the bookkeeping and they hire it out. So, yes, they have learned about business in different aspects. They don't have to do all of it. You build the money, you're going to be having experts. Marketing is one of the top experts you start with. The second one is getting in with a bookkeeper as you proceed, and so you can do your taxes correctly and not have any major or any small little tweaks here and there with the IRS. It's keeping the IRS in Capitol Hill where they belong. They don't belong in your front door.
No, not at all. Not at
I have a
all.
real warm relationship with the IRS. They don't come near my clients. It's like the Black Plague, man. No, they don't come near my clients. I've worked in
Wonderful.
taxes, 300 clients, not a single audit. Made sure that revenue stream was dead and created 2 more revenue streams out of it. So this is what you do in business. The IRS is not cooperative anymore. They have really changed everything, and it is not legal in many of the respects of what they are doing, but they make it legal because they're a specialized court in this country. I have too much knowledge in law. I take my clients and go, this is the direction you go, and you'll never lay eyes on the IRS. They'll never be at your tailgate party. They used to drive by your house. They used to check and see if what you live in matches to what you make out of your company. Oh, yeah. IRS has done some fascinating work in their agents going into the field. So I would get together with my clients and go, this is what we're going to do. Tailgate party. We're all going to meet over here. Grab your beer. We're going to stand and we're going to do a deal here. We're going to do, this is how we're going to handle the IRS. And they all learned about bookkeeping so they can understand, keep tabs, understand the budgeting, and take it to where it needs to go. And then, yes, like Dr. Marie, get in touch with her, ask the questions. Yeah, I had it all the time. I had people calling me at home at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's your choice whether or not you want to answer the phone. It's real.
Right.
But in international business, time at night at 2 o'clock in the morning here is not 2 o'clock in the morning internationally. It could be very well 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So
Could
you pick
be.
up the phone.
Yeah.
Because they know it's 2 o'clock in the morning. You're not sitting in an office. So I give them my home number and they call. Yes, I answer the phone. It's international. It's a different process because of hours. But when you have the internet and all this,
Mhm.
It makes it easier.
It does.
It really makes it
Absolutely
easier.
does.
Mm.
That is so
But
true.
otherwise, in the day, it's the antique phone line. It's that tail. You have to lift it up off and call a receiver and talk into it. Otherwise, when you're in a car, you have no cell phone. You have no ringing. You don't have a single kid in your family calling you. In fact, they have to wait until you get home. So you take the long scenic road home, people. Yeah. You take a drive over here, drive over there, and about 3 hours later you show up and you got a lineup of kids, a husband. Oh, messages from your brothers, your sisters, your auntie, your uncle. Oh dear. And you were gone for 3 hours. That's the
Mhm.
way it
Wow.
was.
Wow.
It's real,
Interesting.
very real. And
Mm.
in ministry, I worked with ministry for over 40 years. It is a 24/7. It is. You have congregation. You cannot tell your congregation, oh no, you can't be sick today. No, 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 no. You're on call. And that means many a times you'll have to go to a hospital literally 3 o'clock in the morning. There are issues and there is poverty. And I've seen an entire church support 75% of their congregation with food from a food bank. The money that comes into the church, they turn around and they buy out of the food bank at very extremely low prices. And then they bag it all up in bags and they drop it off, or you stop by, and that's your weekly groceries. It has kept many, many, many people alive and also kept them in their shelter. None of them went homeless and penniless. So I have worked in the ministry in different capacities, from the financial side of it to the physical side of it. I donated an organ to a, yes, a Pentecostal church because their children in Sunday school had no music. They had no instrument. So I donated the organ. They have been living off that organ for 30 years. And the kids, they love it. They embrace it. They have got unbelievable. They can hear the music, they can learn to play. It became a big piece in the Sunday school side of it, where the music in this Pentecostal church is the mainstream of the ministry. It's a way of, they sing to God. They're international, big time. They do streaming and they're international. And yes, it did boost the contributions. And boy, did it create many, many, many new congregation people into their church. And that church has
Yeah.
been around since 1947. I have all the original papers on it. And it's been generations. They're on the third generation in this church. And it's going into the fourth generation. Yes, there are nieces and nephews that are adults now, and they are into the ministry. So, yes, I have 40 years directly into it. My entire childhood was in church. My parents didn't go, it was denied by my father. Thank you, Dad. I couldn't be happier. I've been going since I was 3 by myself. So, yes, the ministry. I have a deep respect, appreciation, and all the positive it does. And I haven't found negativism in it. I have only found the positive side. And it's been hand to hand working with each other in all kinds of projects within the ministry. And above all, outside this country. They take and travel and they go to very heavily poverty stricken areas. They bring clothing, they bring food. Yes, they physically travel. They go by vehicle. They don't fly in an airplane. They go by vehicle. So they go down into Mexico and they go deep. And it's one of their areas, and they're expanding out to other countries. it's sharing, and it's all inclusive, all is equal. That's all I have to say.
Wonderful. We thank you
Do
so
I
much
have
for
any?
that feedback. Yeah. We just want to
I
say thank
appreciate you stopping in.
you.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
I know
Very insightful.
it's
Definitely.
business is tough. Learning information on business is tough. It's like it's a rigor of we only do it this way. No, there are many other factors that have never been revealed, and that is selling your own ownership. You own it, and every cent you're going to make on the resale is 100% profit in your pocket
Mhm.
for you to choose what you want to do. You're raising the money. And when it comes to business, it's everything. When you have the items that you kept and you haven't used for a while and you never thought about it, now you have a method to release it, turns into coin, and then it can really help you in a startup company. It is your own money, but you will generate clients really quickly. In most, I have the only business I've really seen to be the slowest is accounting. It is literally word to word mouth networking to this day. It's recommendations. Taxes are recommendations. I don't do taxes yet. I haven't sat down and done my licensing as an enrolled agent. It's
Mhm.
on my list. I'm doing my certification uh, for QuickBooks Online. I teach QuickBooks Online for one thing. And yeah, I have students that have found out about bookkeeping on the computer. Yep, they got the eye awakening of it. Okay, I did this. Where'd it go?
Oh, that's
Oh, you see
powerful.
one side,
Yeah.
not see the other side.
Jump
But
into
you
it.
do in Excel. When you do it in Excel, you see both sides all the time. But I really appreciate you asking me to stop in. I deeply appreciate it. I have a lot of fun with it, but it's not about I have a lot of degrees, I have a lot of knowledge. It's about awakening. You already have the knowledge. You just don't know it. And awakening you by taking you to your home front and everything that you've got sitting in your home that is ready and available to turn into money is simply resale. Heaven's sakes, your own kids. Think about it. Go to school. I have donated in my years of elementary school, that K through 12. I had a girl that I knew, their house burned down. I took half of my closet, gave it to her.
Hmm.
She had clothes to go to school, and she had 3 brothers. And when they found out I did that, the clothes came in for her mother and the clothes came in for her brothers. They didn't have a roof over their head, everything they lost, but they ended up with clothes on their back, able to continue with school and not be pulled. So it made a difference. So giving on one side and then doing a resale on another. So you have both sides. It's just being able to acknowledge it, having it brought up into your presence. Oh my God, all that stuff in my closet. Oh dear, all those purses. All of a sudden, it just, oh my, the money I'm sitting on, it's wealth. It is when you are working literally entrepreneurship. The other side of it is when you're working to go on a vacation, but you have no money. This is how you raise the money. Have your
Mhm.
kids sell their bicycle. They're not riding anymore. Hello. The tricycle. Oh, yeah. You sell a car to buy a better car. So you take the money on that resale and put it towards the new automobile you're buying. Even though it's a used automobile, it's a new automobile to you. You do the same thing. You just never think about it being in your home. It's just like, it's like a storage unit. You buy it, you use it, you store it. So what you got in storage, it's time to turn it into dollar sign or turn it into not for profit. So it gets a new home, and people are very happy when they get this type of design, because it doesn't happen very often. So I work both sides of the program. I create programs, but I work both sides of it. My mother always did this, and she didn't have very much, but she always did this. And it was giving to others as equals and all inclusive. It's not about financial that separates you into different segments. It's the other way around. It's about being included and always equal. And it doesn't matter who it is. And I've done plenty of it through my life. So please take it away.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you all so much for, all that. And I thank everyone who participated today, everyone who was online. We appreciate your presence. And we say thank you, to Dr. Marie, for doing this for us. This is also for our benefit. And, this is, speaks to her selflessness, that she's able to put something like this, that it could be beneficial to others. So we say thank you once again. And just a few announcements before we get go. The classes at Jodapris University, it will be starting on the 15th of this month. So if you're still interested, you still have time to join in. If not, you can calendar it for next semester, which will start January 6th. And registration for that closes out on December 31st of this year. And if you want additional information about business planning and anything pertaining to business, you can contact Dr. Marie directly. Her telephone number, 773-217-5712, or you can email her, dmarie@jodapris.com. And if you're interested in the school, you could click on the website at www.jodaprisuniversity.com. And there's a wealth of information out there. So, she is a resource. She's available to us. So utilize her while you can, and tell someone about it. If you know someone who, wants to go in theology, wants a business degree, just about anything. Or if you know someone with a business that's looking to launch their website, or just want to improve their business, do some business planning and marketing, just about anything. It's a one-stop shop. Anything that you're looking for business related, you can have them contact Dr. Marie. And once again, I say thanks to everyone who attended today's webinar. We appreciate your presence. I'll hand it over to Dr. Marie for the closing. Dr. Marie?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sister Cheryl. Thank you, everybody. Thanks again, Dr. Bose. That was fantastic. We're going to go ahead and close our meeting today. All right. You have a good one, and thank you for joining. Good night, good day, depending on where you are. Bye-bye now.
Okay. Goodbye. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.